All right, so we're diving into this whole lean muscle thing, huh? You want to build some lean muscle, right? I've got all your notes here, and we've got a fantastic expert to break it all down, the science and the strategy and all that.
Oh yeah, muscles are pretty amazing when you really get into it. It's way more than just picking up heavy stuff, you know?
That's exactly what I want to get into, uncover all that. Like one of the first things I noticed in these notes,
hmm
was how many muscles we actually have. It says like 600. Is that even real?
Oh, it's totally real. 600 muscles all doing their thing. I mean, we always focus on the ones we see, right? Like
Yeah.
biceps, triceps, quads. But there's a whole hidden world of muscles in there, and they're not all the same either. So you've got the skeletal muscles, the ones we control, the smooth muscles, which are kind of doing their own thing in our organs.
Well,
And then, of course, you have the cardiac muscle, which is, the heart. That's a pretty important one. But for building that lean, defined look you're after, we're going to mainly focus on those skeletal muscles, the ones we can train and shape.
okay, so it's not just about getting big. It's about getting like toned, targeted, right?
Yeah.
One thing that really jumped out at me from all this research was how important workout frequency seems to be for growth.
Yeah, you're definitely onto something there. The sources I was looking at really emphasized how effective even shorter, more frequent workouts can be. And what's cool about that is it gives you so much more flexibility. You could hit the gym a couple times a week, sure, but then, on other days, maybe squeeze in a quick workout at home or even at the park.
Mm.
Keep it fresh.
Yeah. So I don't have to like live at the gym. That's good to know. But what about the food? How do I balance all this working out with eating right? Like healthy eating always seems so complicated, so much work.
I know what you mean. But one of the sources had a really good tip about that. Planning your meals for the whole week. Spend just 30 minutes or so each week figuring out what you're going to eat, maybe do a little batch cooking. It can make healthy eating feel so much easier. You don't have to be a master chef.
So it's like be efficient in the kitchen, just like I'm being efficient in the gym. Makes sense. Speaking of efficiency, I saw compound exercises mentioned a lot. What are those all about?
Think of those like multitaskers for your muscles. They work several muscle groups at the same time, so your workouts are way more efficient, like mountain climbers, burpees, side plank rotations, all those kind of
I
movements.
actually do a few of those already, which is cool. But
Yeah.
why are they so good for muscle building?
Well, because you're hitting multiple muscles at once,
Right.
right? You're basically speeding up your progress. Like it's more bang for your buck, both in terms of building muscle and burning calories.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, I know I should change up my routine sometimes to avoid those plateaus, but how often are we talking about? Like every week, every month?
There's no hard and fast rule, really. It's more about paying attention to your body. When you start feeling like you're hitting a wall, you know it's time to switch things up. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just try new exercises, up the intensity, play around with the sets and reps. And it's not just about like getting bored either. Mixing it up, make sure all your muscle groups are getting worked so you develop more evenly.
So variety is key.
Got it. Okay, there are a couple of terms in my notes that I need you to define for me. Isotonic and isometric. Can you break those down?
Oh, sure. Yeah, these sound kind of technical, but they're actually pretty straightforward. Isotonic exercises are all about movement, like think push-ups, squats, lunges, that kind of thing. You're moving your body, or maybe an external weight, through a range of motion, and your muscles are contracting as you go.
All right, so what about isometric?
Isometric is all about holding a position. So you're engaging those muscles, but without any actual movement, like planks, wall sits, even just squeezing your glutes. You're creating tension, building strength, but you're not moving. Wait, so planks are isometric? I do those all the time. I never even realized. So how do I know when to do one type of exercise over the other?
Both types are important for a balanced workout, and we'll definitely get into how to incorporate both as we go deeper into this.
Man, this is already making me rethink my whole approach to fitness. But I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. There's still so much to unpack.
Oh, we've barely scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore. It's fascinating. It's like all these things, how often you work out, the types of exercises you do, what you eat, it all kind of works together like pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that. But I got to admit, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. How do I actually put all this together to create like a real workout routine, for me?
It's like you've got all the ingredients for a great meal, but you still need the recipe, right? And we're going to figure out that recipe together. So, first things first, let's talk about being consistent. How many days a week can you actually commit to working out? Be realistic here.
Realistically, I think I could manage like 3, maybe 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And like we were saying before, I definitely prefer shorter, more intense workouts to like spending hours at the gym.
That's a great place to start. And it fits right in with what we were talking about. That frequency is key. Now, think about those compound exercises. Are there any that you really like doing? Or any you're curious to try?
I actually kind of like burpees as much as they kill me. And those side plank rotations you mentioned sound pretty cool.
Awesome choices. Burpees are great because they work your whole body, and those side plank rotations are killer for your core. We can definitely build a solid routine using those.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see how this works. So maybe I do burpees and side planks on 2 of my workout days. What about the other days?
Well, how about we make those days about hitting specific muscle groups with other compound movements? Like squats and push-ups are always a good bet.
Yeah, those are classics for a reason, right? Okay, so 2 days of burpees and side planks, 2 days of squats and push-ups. That feels balanced, right?
It does, and this is just the basic plan. We can always tweak it as we go, personalize it, see how you're feeling, what's working. But for now, that's a solid foundation.
It feels good to have a plan. Okay, so I'll have the exercises, but how many sets and reps should I be aiming for?
A good place to start is 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps for each exercise.
Hmm.
And then as you get stronger, you can increase the sets or the reps, maybe even add some weight. You got to keep challenging yourself.
Got it. But wait, what about isometric exercises? Where do those fit in?
We can totally weave them into this plan. Think of them as little strength-building bonuses throughout your workout. Like after you do your squats, hold a wall sit for 30 seconds. Or after your push-ups, do a plank. Hold it as long as you can.
Oh, I like that. Little challenges to keep it interesting.
Exactly. And remember, variety's the spice of life, right? Not just for your muscles, but for your mind, too. Keep trying new things, different versions of the exercises. That'll keep your workouts fun and keep you from hitting those plateaus.
This is so helpful. I'm actually feeling a lot more confident about putting together my own routine, but we can't talk about building muscle without talking about food, right? I'm still a little lost on that front.
You're absolutely right. What you eat is just as important as how you work out. It's all about giving your body the building blocks it needs, to repair and grow those muscles after you've been working them hard.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So what are those building blocks?
Protein is your #1 ally here. It's what builds muscle tissue. You want to make sure you're getting protein with every meal and with your snacks, too. Lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, tofu, Greek yogurt, all great sources of protein.
So it's not just about, like, guzzling protein shakes after every workout.
Protein shakes can be convenient, yeah, but they shouldn't be your only source. You want to focus on getting protein from whole foods as much as you can. It's about giving your body real nutrition, not just supplements.
Okay, got it. Protein, protein, protein. But what about other stuff? Do I need to, like, track every single thing I eat?
Don't get too caught up in all the details. It's really about balance, You need carbs for energy, especially for those workouts. And healthy fats are important for your hormones and overall health.
Balance, got it. But, like, can you give me some ideas for meals or snacks that are good for building muscle?
Sure. For breakfast, you could try scrambled eggs with some whole grain toast and avocado. That's a good one. Or if you're on the go, a smoothie with Greek yogurt, berries, and a scoop of protein powder is a quick and easy way to start your day.
Those both sound pretty doable and delicious, too. What about for lunch and dinner?
Lunch, you could go for a big salad packed with protein. Grilled chicken or chickpeas would be good with lots of veggies and a light dressing. And for dinner, maybe baked salmon with roasted veggies and quinoa or brown rice. Super tasty and nutritious.
Man, you're making healthy eating sound pretty appealing. I think I'm realizing that it's not about, like, restricting myself. It's about making choices that actually help me reach my goals.
Exactly. It's about finding what you like, what works for you, and making it a part of your life. And remember, it's a journey, not a race. There will be days when you slip up, And that's totally fine. Don't beat yourself up. It's about consistency, not perfection.
That's a good way to look at it. I feel like I'm not just learning about building muscle, but about, like, having a healthier relationship with food and exercise in general.
That's what it's all about, Empowering yourself, learning, making choices that work for you and your goals. Speaking of goals, there's one more thing we haven't talked about. Progressive overload.
Okay, yeah, that was in my notes, but I wasn't really sure what it meant. Can you explain it?
Basically, it's the secret to keeping your muscles challenged, so you don't hit those plateaus. It means gradually increasing how hard you work out over time.
So it's not just about lifting heavier weights.
Not necessarily. You can also increase your sets and reps, make your rest periods shorter, or even just do harder versions of the exercises you're already doing. It's about keeping those muscles guessing, forcing them to adapt.
Makes sense. So it's about finding that sweet spot, right? Where I'm pushing myself enough to get stronger, but not so much that I hurt myself or get burnt out.
Exactly. It's all about balance and listening to your body. Don't forget that rest and recovery are important too. You should aim for at least 1 day of rest between strength training workouts so your muscles have time to recover.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I have a real plan now, not just for building muscle, but for a healthier, more sustainable way to be fit.
I'm glad to hear that. And it brings us back to that idea of the bigger picture, right? Building muscle isn't just about how you look, it's about being strong, being resilient, feeling good in your own skin.
Yeah, it's about feeling powerful.
Yeah.
We talked about all those other muscles, the smooth muscles and cardiac muscle. Are those important for building a lean physique too?
While we're focusing mainly on skeletal muscles for that lean look, remember, all your muscles play a part in how healthy you are, how well your body functions. Smooth muscles, they're working all the time, even when you don't realize it. Digestion, blood flow, all that stuff. And your cardiac muscle. That's your heart. That's what keeps you going.
So even though I'm not actively trying to build those muscles the same way I'm trying to build my biceps or quads,
Yeah.
they're still super important, right?
Absolutely. And while you might not be hitting the gym to target them specifically, taking care of your overall health with exercise, nutrition, stress management, all that stuff, it benefits all your muscles.
That's a great point. It's all connected. It's about taking care of the whole system, not just one part.
Exactly. It's about understanding that your body is this amazing interconnected system, and when you support one part, you're supporting the whole thing. But, let's switch gears for a second. Let's talk about the gym environment, which can be kind of intimidating for some people.
Oh yeah, the gym can definitely be intimidating, especially when you're just starting out. Any advice for someone like me?
Just remember, everybody starts somewhere, and most people at the gym are just focused on their own workout. They're not judging you, and most of them are happy to help if you have a question too. So don't be afraid to ask the staff or even other people at the gym if you need some guidance. You'd be surprised how supportive the fitness community can be.
Okay, that actually makes me feel a lot better. Any other tips for feeling more comfortable in that environment?
A good strategy is to start with exercises you already know and then gradually add new ones as you get more comfortable. That way, you can build confidence without feeling overwhelmed. And if you're not sure how to do something or how to use a piece of equipment, just ask a trainer. They're there to help.
This whole conversation has really been about empowerment, about learning and feeling confident enough to take charge of my own health.
That's exactly the point of this whole deep dive. Knowledge is power. And you've learned a lot today.
I really have.
Yeah.
And I'm way more excited about starting my muscle building journey than I was before.
That's awesome to hear. Enthusiasm is definitely a key ingredient for success. But I'm curious, what are you most excited to try first?
I think I'm going to start putting together my workout routine, using those compound exercises we talked about, burpees, side planks, squats, push-ups. I'm ready for the challenge.
That's the spirit. And remember, consistency is key. Aim for those 3 or 4 workouts a week. Make sure you're using good form and fuel your body with that protein-rich food we talked about.
I'm taking notes, don't worry. It's all starting to feel so much more manageable now. But can we do a quick recap just to make sure I got everything?
Of course. It's always good to make sure those key points are locked in. What stands out to you?
Okay, so the biggest thing is being consistent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working out at least 3 times a week, even if it's just for a short time. And those compound exercises are amazing, working multiple muscle groups at once, super efficient, and, oh yeah, protein is my new best friend.
You got it. You're hitting all the high points. But there's one important thing we haven't mentioned in the recap. What is it?
Let me think. Oh, progressive overload. That's how I keep making progress so I don't hit a plateau.
Exactly. You got it. It's about challenging yourself, making those workouts a little tougher over time.
Okay, I think I've officially got this. I feel informed, I'm motivated, and I'm ready to get started.
And that's what I like to hear. But before you go off and conquer the gym, there's one last thought I want to leave you with. We've talked a lot about the physical stuff, but the mental game is just as important.
Oh, interesting. What do you mean by mental game?
It's about your mindset, your motivation, believing in yourself. Building muscle takes patience, it takes dedication, and it takes a willingness to push yourself out of your comfort zone.
So it's not just about being physically strong, it's about being mentally strong too.
You got it. And just like your muscles get stronger when you train them consistently, your mind can get stronger too. The more you embrace challenges, the more resilient and focused you become.
That's a powerful message. So it's about believing in myself and trusting the process.
Exactly. And setbacks are going to happen, you know? There will be days when you don't feel like working out or days when you don't see the results you want. But that's when mental strength really comes in. It's about picking yourself back up and keeping going.
Wow, I feel so inspired. This has been about so much more than just building muscle. It's about facing any challenge with a positive attitude.
That's what I love about fitness. It can change you physically and mentally. But before we get too deep, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. What are your main takeaways?
This has been amazing. I went from feeling totally lost to feeling like I actually know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to get started.
I'm so glad to hear that. It just goes to show you how powerful knowledge can be and having someone to guide you along the way.
You've been an incredible guide. What about you, though? Any final thoughts?
Knowing all this, what kind of workout routine are you going to create to hit your goals?
Ooh, that's a good one. Really think about that as I start putting all this into practice. It's exciting to think that I can create a plan that's perfect for me.
I know you'll come up with something awesome, but remember, it's not just about the plan, it's about actually doing it. Be consistent, be dedicated, and be willing to challenge yourself. That's how you unlock your potential.
I'm ready for it. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of building lean muscle. Remember, knowledge is power. Use what you've learned today to create your own path to a stronger, healthier you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. You know that question about creating my own routine? It's really got me thinking. Like, I'm starting to see how all this stuff works together, but there's still that gap,
Yeah.
between knowing the stuff and actually doing it.
It's like you can have all the best ingredients in the world, but you still need to know how to cook, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do I become the, master chef of my own workout routine? Where do I even start?
Well, let's start with your schedule.
Yeah.
How many days a week can you realistically commit to working out? And remember, it's not about spending hours at the gym. Short, focused workouts can be super effective.
Realistically, I could probably do 3, maybe 4 days a week. And like we talked about before, I'm all about those shorter, more intense workouts.
Perfect. That fits perfectly with the idea that frequency is key. Now, what about those compound exercises? Any that you're already into or want to try?
Well, I gotta admit, I kind of like burpees, even though they make me sweat like crazy. And those side plank rotations sound pretty interesting.
Awesome choices. Burpees are great for working your whole body, and side plank rotations are fantastic for your core. We can definitely build a solid routine around those two.
Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this, so maybe I could dedicate 2 days a week to burpees and side planks. What about the other days?
How about we make those days about targeting specific muscle groups with some other compound movements? Squats and push-ups are always a good bet.
Yeah, classic moves for a reason. Okay, 2 days with burpees and side planks, 2 days with squats and push-ups. That feels like a pretty balanced plan, right?
It does. And remember, this is just a starting point. We can always adjust as we go, personalize it based on what you're feeling, how your body's responding. But for now, that's a solid foundation.
It feels good to have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had the exercises, but how do I know how many sets and reps to do?
A good starting point is 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps for each exercise. And then as you get stronger, you can bump up the sets or reps or even add weight. Got to keep those muscles challenged.
Okay, got it. But what about those isometric exercises? Where do those fit into the plan?
We can definitely incorporate those. Think of them as like little strength building bonuses throughout your workout. For example, after you finish a set of squats, hold a wall sit for like 30 seconds. Or after your push-ups, challenge yourself with the plank, hold it for as long as you can.
Oh, I like that. Little extra challenges to keep things interesting.
Exactly. And variety is key, not just for your muscles, but for your mind too. Mix things up, try different versions of the exercises. That'll keep your workouts fun and help you avoid those plateaus.
This is starting to feel a lot less like a chore and a lot more like a fun challenge. But we can't forget about fuel, right?
Yeah.
I need some guidance on the food front.
Absolutely. What you eat is super important for building muscle. It's all about giving your body the nutrients it needs to recover and grow those muscles after a workout.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But what are those key nutrients, the ones I really need to focus on?
Protein is your #1 ally here. Think of it as the building block of muscle tissue. You want to make sure you're getting protein with every meal and even your snacks. Lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, tofu, Greek yogurt, all great sources of protein.
So it's not just about chugging protein shakes after every workout.
Protein shakes can be convenient, yeah, but they shouldn't be your only source. It's better to get most of your protein from whole foods whenever possible. That way you're getting all those other good nutrients too.
Got it. Whole foods are better. So protein's important, but what about the other stuff? Do I need to like meticulously track every single calorie and macro?
No need to go that crazy. It's really about balance. You need carbs for energy, especially for your workouts, and healthy fats play a role too for your hormones and just overall health.
Okay, so balance is key. But if you had to give me an example of like a perfect muscle building meal, what would it look like?
For breakfast, imagine a plate with scrambled eggs cooked in olive oil, a slice of whole grain toast with some avocado, and a side of berries. Or, if you're in a rush, a smoothie with Greek yogurt, berries, spinach, and a scoop of protein powder will do the trick.
Those sound pretty good
Yeah.
and pretty easy to make too. What about lunch and dinner?
For lunch, picture a big salad with grilled chicken or chickpeas, tons of veggies, and a light vinaigrette. And for dinner, how about some baked salmon with roasted vegetables and quinoa or brown rice? Flavorful and nutritious.
Man, you're making healthy eating sound appealing. I'm starting to realize it's not about like restricting myself. It's more about making smart choices that help me reach my goals.
Exactly. Find what you like, what works for you, and make it a part of your life. And remember, it's about consistency over perfection. There will be days when you don't eat as well as you'd like, and that's totally fine. Just get back on track with your next meal.
This has been such a helpful conversation. I feel like I've got a roadmap now, not just for building muscle, but for building a healthier lifestyle, period.
And that's really what it's all about. It's been great diving into this with you.
You've been an amazing guide. I feel so much more confident and excited about this whole journey now. I really appreciate all the insights and advice.
You're very welcome. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, there's no limit to what you can do. Now go out there and build those muscles.
I'm ready. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of building lean muscle. Remember, knowledge is power. Use what you've learned today to create your own path to a stronger, healthier you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.